Hello all, as you can probably tell, it is quite early at the time of me recording this. That being said, I have had a spur of inspiration, motivation, and desire to dispel a bunch of myths in the cold email marketing, B2B marketing, make money online, whatever you call it, space. So this is for agency owners, business owners, B2B business owners specifically, because cold email doesn't really work for B2C, but I'm going to show you how to print money with cold email in routine fashion on this channel. Have I misled you yet? If you've been here for a while, comment down below. The answer is no. Because if you just follow this stuff and you do this stuff, it works. How do I know? Because I'm doing this stuff now, right now, in real time. And I have been consulting and helping other business owners do the same with these methods, and they've been printing. I will leave the testimonials channel in the link in the description as well. I have a secret testimonials channel because it's better that you hear this stuff from other people. That being said, I'm not here to be a guru. I'm just here to show you what works. And regardless, you should be testing everything at all times anyway. So this is cold email. Very, very, very few people on the planet know cold email better than I do. So let's dive in. This is cold email structure. I get a lot of questions about campaigns. Wow, did I just toot my own horn for a whole 60 seconds straight? My bad, guys. This is about you, not about me. But I guess that's just my way of demonstrating social proof. Anyway, we'll talk about this another day, but here are some of my campaign stats. This is like a fraction of the money we generate. This is just cash collected and very not representative of gross revenue. Actual revenue from cold email, not consulting, and some of this from consulting anyway, whatever. So let's get into it. Cold email structure. So I get a lot of questions, especially from business owners looking to use cold email. Where is my pencil? Looking to use cold email to get more clients, using it as a client acquisition system. And that is what I'm here for. That's what I'm really good at. So if you do B2B, this is for you. If you do B2C, probably not going to work out so well. Cool. In that case, we would talk about running ads. You would talk about running ads or content marketing or whatever it is. Anyway, cold email structure. So my cold email structure and everything I do in cold email is deceptively simple, to the point where some people think I'm like doing a fugazi until they work with me, and then I bring them under the hood, so to speak. I probably butchered that saying. And I just take them into one of my Smartly dashboards and just show it to them, and then give you my exact copy, and then that's how you get results. Like the folks down below, if you hit the testimonial channel, ha ha ha. If you're on my newsletter, you'd see it, ha ha ha. Anyway, cold email structure. So campaigns. This is a campaign, okay? This is a campaign, and then these are like the variations. You got the A/B test. Oh my goodness, I can't draw today. You got the A/B test, right? That's it. That's really it. So campaign, and so the question is like, okay, what are we doing in each, right? What are we doing in each? How do I separate my campaigns? How many leads? Blah, blah, blah. So I'm going to try and address as much of those questions as possible today. And I'll probably forget to address some of those. I'll probably forget because, there's stuff that I just do like with ultra instinct nowadays. Which is not fair to you if you're watching this as like a beginner to cold email. But in that case, you can ask me questions. Cool. Oh, geez. See them everywhere. All right. So campaigns. Let me not make this video any longer than it has to be. Campaigns, I usually sort by targeting. Okay. So I'm probably doing this by head count. So company size / head count. Okay. So this might be like, I don't know, 10 to 30 employees, for example, right? I'm making these boundaries up, by the way. I don't ever know like what the exact boundaries are. Typically, for anyone with some kind of funds, any business with some kind of funds, they usually have about 7 to 10 plus employees. That's just from what I found, but I've also made bankroll from a company with 3 employees, but I also had to literally scale them from the bottom. But that's okay. The business model was there. Just don't make your life any harder than it has to be. Go for 7 plus, if not 10 plus. Cool. So let's just say, so we sort this by head count. Okay. So this one might have, 10, 3 to 10 employees even. And then this one, like, I don't care. Like, there's no, like, you're going to break the law if you email companies with less than 10 employees. Just go for it, dude. You have the infrastructure anyway. Just send the emails. It's not going to cost you any more. Headcount. And then campaign strategy, right? So for example, and I don't ever do, here, I make this up. You see how I'm making it up right now? That's exactly how I do it. So I might do something like this. If you worked with me, you've seen this before, like 10 to 15 employees. We'll call them boutique. And then let's just say 16 to 30. Still a very small company, but I just might call it middle. Cool. All right. So I separate this by campaign, by a company headcount. That's really the main separation. Or, this is probably rather obvious, by niche. Niche is like without question. Like before you even get into the campaign, you should be ironing out a niche. So this might look like bookkeepers, even though I don't recommend running a campaign towards bookkeepers because they're usually very local. They usually only work with local clients for the most part, not always, but for the most part. And like they usually don't have like the funds we want to talk about. No offense. Unless we're talking about corporate bookkeepers, in which really we're talking about corporate accountants. Cool. So this is under finance. So I might make one campaign for accountants, and then corporate accountants, and it might be accountants 16 to 30. That might be the campaign, right? So that might be the campaign right here. So accountants, 16 to 30 employees. Okay, that might be one campaign. And then the next campaign might be, if I'm still really trying to figure out what's going on in the world of accountants, I might do accountants, let's see, 7 to 15 employees. So I separate it by niches, the given, but I usually separate it by company headcount. That's usually, in most cases, what I'm doing when I'm separating campaigns. Now, the other, let's just say 70% of the time, that's what I'm doing. The other 30%, or the other times where I'm figuring out when I should separate campaigns, is by campaign strategy. We've talked about this a lot on this channel, but if you're new here, this is what I'm referring to. Loom campaigns, right? Loom campaigns, or direct response campaigns, or lead magnet campaigns, which I don't run almost ever, because why? These are always separate campaigns. I do not run these in A/B tests. I don't. Why? I'm going to try and explain this, and it's going to come off so wrong, but it's just a best practice of mine personally. So here's my attempt at explaining this, which is probably just me making this up in my head, but it's worked for me. So lead magnet campaigns will get you a far higher response rate than direct response campaigns if done right. Loom campaigns will get you a far higher response rate than direct response campaigns if done right. Lead magnet campaigns will get you a far higher response rate than Loom campaigns if done right. Lead magnet campaigns, highest response rate. Let me change the color on this. Lead magnet campaigns, highest response rate. Then Loom campaigns, then direct response campaigns. Direct response is just asking for what you want. Cool. So we put this in an A/B test. If we put this in one campaign, right? We put this in one campaign and A/B test it. So let's just call this campaign for the win. And then we're ABC testing it, right? One of these, so the Loom campaign, we got the direct response campaign, and then we got, what was it called? The lead magnet campaign. So this might have a response rate of like, a reply rate, of like 5%. A direct response of, let's just say 1%. Reply rate, and then this Loom campaign, let's just say this is a 2.5%, something like that. Your campaign overall reply rate is going to be jacked up, And I don't know, I like seeing it very like very, very honest and reflective of what's happening inside. So your campaign response rate is going to be somewhere in the middle of like a 3% reply rate. And then you're going to go ahead and parade this around social media as if that matters and be like, oh my God, my campaign received a 3% response rate, but really half of those are lead magnet campaigns. And you didn't actually close on this deal value and deal flow that you're bringing in. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. Just separate it. Do I have one of those in here? No. Funny. They're all direct response campaigns. See? Yeah, don't do that. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's just weird. It's just weird. Just take my word for it, okay? Anyway, so that is how I segment campaigns specifically. It's by campaign strategy, and then by headcount, and niche is a given. Cool. So now within the actual campaign, right? So you got the campaign. Yeah, we can still use black. So you got the campaign. Now you got the A/B tests. What am I testing in here? To make big money. This is somewhat big money, but it's all right. It's all right. That's not bad, but that's deal flow. Anyway, what am I testing in the campaign to make big money? Typically, I want to get the offer statement down pat first. Right here, I'm going to type this because this is taking a million years. Typically, I want to get the offer statement down pat first. And I'm like, the copy around it typically stays the same, right? The copy that comes before the offer statement typically stays the same. It's not that hard. It's pretty hard to mess all that stuff up. But I'm testing offer statement in terms of like maybe how direct I'm saying what I'm trying to say. Yeah, that's about it. I'm typically like, and I'll test it for 500 to maybe 1,000 responses, but like 500 to 1,000. If I'm not getting any responses after about 500 emails sent, then yeah, I'll stop it. Cool. All right. Offer. Typically when I'm testing this, I know what my which offer statement works better in about a day, about half a day. Depends on how many emails I'm sending. Call to action stays the same. The call to action is just reflective of the campaign strategy. So, would you be open to discussing further? That's direct response. Would you like to see a quick 2-minute video on how I guarantee results, case studies, and what this would look like for your company? That is a Loom campaign. Call to action. Cool. Once the offer statement is down pat, then I am testing, you guessed it, the call to action. This directly affects your reply rate. Offer, positive reply rate. Call to action, regular reply rate. Why do I test the offer first? Superstition. Superstition. You wouldn't be like, it wouldn't be illegal to test the call to action first. You can actually do that. But the offer statement is what makes or breaks the campaign. I don't know. It's just do it. If you want my result, you do it. Do what I do. If you don't. I don't know what else to say. Anyway, call to action. Cool. I'm testing the call to action. So not campaign strategies, but just little within the same direct campaign strategy. So if we are doing direct response, then I am doing I'm testing my calls to actions. You know what? I'm really not even testing this stuff, dude. Here's what I'm actually doing. This is I realize I'm regurgitating stuff from like 6 months ago that I used to do 6 months ago. Here's what I'm actually doing, okay? Dropping the mic here. My call to action. Forgive me. I feel bad because I wasted about 60 seconds of your time. Anyway, the call to action is being tested. I'm really not even testing this, to be honest, because I just know what works at this point. With direct response, there's only so many things you can say. Where's my pen? There's only so many things you can say. Where's my pen? Oh, the call to action is just being spin taxed here with like four or five of my best options. Okay, so there's CTA, There's CTA. All right. It's being spin taxed. All right. And then what I'm actually really testing from here is like this is a bit backwards, but the folks I work with get results. We probably have we do have the number one AI cold email training program on the planet right now by results. Anyway, what I'm testing here is the structure of the email itself. So do we want something that's super short to the point, like even a one-liner? Literally just demand capture? Or do we want like a more suave with the offer statement in the middle? So, we call these like F-shaped cold emails. It's kind of like this, right? Like your standard cold email, or you just want a cold email that's like very short and to the point. Or do you want a cold email? That would be version A, version B, and then you want a cold email that's like really long. Okay. I usually only test 2. Cool. So this would be my version A and version B. Right now. This is what I'm doing right now. Right now. Cool. What do they call it? Cats out of the bag? Anyway, I don't know. So that's what I do for version A, version B. Cool. Now, there was something else you probably wanted to know. Oh yeah, sequences. So step 1 and step 2. Step 1 and step 2. Right? So typically I give, if you work with me, you know this, very little thought as to what we do in step 2. Typically, if this is step A, right? If this is step 1 right here, right? Then in step 2, oh my goodness, I can't draw today. I need an actual mouse. I'm doing this on my trackpad. Then step 2 is literally step 1, but just reordered in a different order. It's pretty much the same sentences, but just like said in a different order. I'll probably just get Claude or ChatGPT to do this for me. Spin tax, blah, blah, blah. So I'm pretty much sending the same email, but just like written differently so it doesn't get fingerprinted. That's it. I used to believe in the whole, oh, you want to make the second email more enticing and blah, blah, blah. No. Efficiency, guys. Cold email's a numbers game. Dial. Like cold calling. How do I said dial? I was thinking of cold calling. Cold calling's a numbers game. Dial. Cold email's a numbers game. Send more emails. Do not try and convince people. When you spend time trying to convince people, you are wasting time and effort. You need to be efficient. Everything I do in my workflows is very, very simple. Why? Because it's about efficiency. I get better results because I send more emails. And once my targeting is done, and I've thought through this and the business strategy, and it's probably the one thing that I have over most other cold emailers. But apart from that, it's just a volume game. It's a volume game. Cool. And, inside Spectre, I literally give, this. Like I give you my pre-made clay workflows, and you see it literally takes you 20 minutes at the most to do this end to end. Well, the clay part end to end, but like the whole campaign strategy from scraping, whatever, depends on how long your scraper is, but it can, about half an hour, 45 minutes, like you should be good to go. Anyway, if I have what I might do as well, this has actually worked for me in the past, is if step 1, by the way, I never do more than 2 steps, ever in my life, ever. So if I do a really short email, for step 1, I might do a much longer email. Like I might write them a little essay. If I really want them, if I'm really desperate. Cool. That's it. Is there anything else I'm missing here that you're probably going to ask me? Campaigns. How do we segment by campaigns? How many emails do we test per campaign? Answered that before we make any decisions. 500 to 1,000 emails for whatever you're testing before you make any decisions. Or else it's not enough to be statistically significant. Call to action, we talked about that. I just bundled them up in spin tax. Offer statement, just test the way it's worded. Just word it 2 different ways and test both. Don't overthink this. Half of my stuff is AI. Use AI. That's why we're here. How many emails in a campaign? 2. How do you spread them out? Okay. Wait 1 to 2 days. Pick your poison. What goes in email 1 and email 2? We answer that. What goes in version A and version B? We answered that. Like I said, I'm typically testing the offer statement. I think, and then like the structure of the email as well. Is there anything else I'm missing? Is there anything else I'm missing? Targeting, we're not going to talk about that here. Niches, we're not going to talk about that here. I have tons of other videos talking about that. My most successful cold emails, not going to talk about that here. I've taken you guys through my entire campaigns. Okay, well that's about it. Anyway, if you want assistance in adding cold email as a client acquisition channel and getting more clients and then scaling to numbers like this, you can hit the link in my in the description below, and it'll give you more information as to how I might be able to help. And you can work with me directly, not some other person. You'd be jumping on a call with me directly. Cool. And if you want to launch a deal generation agency from scratch with AI cold email, I can help you with that too. Okay, you just hit the link in the description. Same link. It'll work with me directly. Yeah. It's gonna take some investment. Okay, we're talking like you got to be ideally at least making 5K a month from your profession or your business, or this is not for you right now. Because with all due respect, I don't know how people expect to scale to these levels or even trust someone to help them scale to these levels, investing anything less, investing like 2K or 5K or something crazy like that. That stuff just doesn't work. Cool. Anyway, I give you everything. This is all like, it's just literally it's all templated and done for you. Testimonials channel. If you are if you are even remotely skeptical, testimonials channel. If you don't have budget, this is probably not for you. I'll literally ask you what your budget is. If it's anything less than this, I'm just being direct. I'm just being very direct because I'm not here to waste anyone's time. Then this is not for you right now, and that's okay. These videos will get you as far as you possibly can with free content. And if you are even remotely in question, then just go hit the testimonials channel, because I don't want to sell anyone anything. And I'm not here to convince anyone of anything. But yeah, this is for you if you are making 5K a month or more and you are able to invest in yourself. Cool. All right. See you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.